Idea of attraction in a long-term partnership is something that is different. So in a short-term partnership, maybe you're young, you're not staying in the same house with the person comes and sees you. You know, those young love used to be sweet. Attraction and all of those things used to be very, very high. When was the last time you made effort towards your partner? When was the last time you smelled good, dressed well, or intentionally just made them feel desired? Welcome to Sexually Speaking, the podcast where we talk about things that people often feel uncomfortable about. All right. I remain your host, Akinola.
And I'm Imuna.
All right. On today's episode, where we continue in our series A to Z of sexual health, we'll be looking at the alphabet D that we believe stands for desire. You know, what is desire? Can it be rebuilt when it fades? And what role do we play in, bringing it back, reigniting that desire in ourselves or even in our partner? So basically, let's just dive straight into it. Memunat.
Yeah.
This is a very important conversation.
Very important conversation.
Yeah, and I've been looking forward to having this conversation with you.
Okay.
So let's start with what you believe is desire, or what you term as desire.
Okay. I would say desire is basically wanting your partner, wanting to be close to them, to spend time with them, running home from work just to see them.
Sweet.
Yeah. And although desire is very different from love, I'm of the opinion that you can desire somebody and not love them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Desire and not love. Yeah. Why do you think that is true? Because just thinking about it, I think we can even add something to it. Attraction. So we say desire.
Yes,
love,
that's the
attraction.
angle I'm looking at it from.
Yeah.
I feel like you can feel attracted to somebody. You don't necessarily need to love them first to feel attraction. And desire, for the most part, is physical. So you don't really need to even know them very well. You can just desire them.
That's
Yeah.
true. Is that gender specific? Like, who knows how to do that? Because I believe that men are guilt tripped of being attracted to somebody without really loving. Is that the same for a woman?
I would say men have the higher gap. Like
Why?
there's a gap. There's this saying, not from me, but people say that men are visual creatures, something like that they are first attracted to what they see. So I would say, yeah, it happens more with men than with women.
Wow. Interesting point. Somebody
Yeah.
finally won this argument.
If you disagree, let us know in the comments. So, on our Love Matters Naija community, we got a DM from a woman that this story sort of relates to the desire which we are discussing here. So, we thought to read it out, give our insights, and see what you also think about the story. Okay, hi, I need some advice. I love my husband, but I don't think I'm sexually attracted to him anymore.
Problem.
Yes. He thinks I keep turning down sex because I'm always tired after work. That's what I tell him, but it's not the real reason. The truth is, somewhere along the line, he stopped putting effort into himself. He barely grooms himself anymore, and I just don't feel that same attraction I used to. Meanwhile, I still feel like I'm expected to keep looking good and stay desirable. I don't know how to tell him the truth without hurting his feelings. What should I do? This thing she mentioned of I still feel like I'm expected to keep looking good and stay desirable. It is so true. It's a very big double standard that exists in heterosexual relationships, and I think we need to talk about it.
Yes, we should. But see, don't I look good? I work on myself, so I can only speak for myself. And I go to the gym, so I see a lot of guys, both
Yeah.
married or in relationship. I think people are working on themselves, but of course, we cannot rule out the fact that there are some men, that don't.
There's a heavier burden on
Eh,
women. I was watching
Why so?
I was watching this YouTube series, this like Pop the Balloon. Have you
Yeah,
heard of
yeah.
it? Yeah. So there were men already standing, and then the women were coming one by one. So one of the men on the lineup was saying something like, as a lady, because they'll ask like, what's your type or something like
Yeah.
that, or what do you like in a woman?
Yeah.
And it was like, as a lady, you should be clean, you should do your nails, you should smell nice. As a lady or as a human being, every good hygiene is not specific to a particular gender. So I don't see why you should be saying as a, like, that's really your, like, when they ask you what do you like in a woman, hygiene, well, that should go without saying, I would assume. And so yeah, there's a heavier burden, like I just can't.
Well, I think a while ago, truly, there've been this notion that women, because they are women and
Yeah.
they are the ones that embody the attraction, so they are often looked at as someone that should maintain some level of standard of cleanliness and all that. But just thinking about what you mentioned about this Pop the Balloon, I believe probably the guy is clean, and so that's why he's sounding like that. Maybe that's why he's not saying all of us should be clean. Maybe just one of the things that he likes in a woman.
Perhaps that's another angle to look at it from. Yeah.
But if we go through the true story that was just read, we
Yeah.
can see different things play out. Number one is love. The other one is desire. And oftentimes, I come to this conclusion when I'm talking about love, because these days a lot of people are saying, just tell me, do you love me? Do you love me? And it hits my mind because growing up, we understood that there were different kinds of love.
Okay.
There was the eros kind of love, there was the filio, there was the storge. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that well, and the agape kind of love. And they have their different meanings. The eros is the one that is, you like somebody in a seductive or an attractive way. Then the agape is the I'm loving everything. So what comes to my mind these days when people say, just tell me you love me, I think the question should be, tell me what kind of love you have for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Because truly, some people have been talking about friend zoning, and you can get friend zoned and people don't understand that it's probably the kind of love the person have towards you. That's why you're friend zoned.
Okay.
There are people that would always see you like a family or a close friend, and so they love you, they can move mountains for you, they can be there for you, but you see that attraction is not there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it, whether it's biological or it's just your personal preference, when it comes to
I would
love,
say it's
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Personal
so
preference.
personal preference. And so no matter what you do for that person, the person might not be able to see you in that way. Of course, we know that research has shown that with a little twitch here, and maybe if you have like a love doctor, the person can help you to...
Oh, like love potion.
No, not love potion. There are people that can revamp you, for somebody that is not attracted to you. Because
Okay.
attraction, I believe attraction, there's a standard of how it should be. I don't know
Yeah.
who is setting it. So if a guy wants to look more attractive, off the top of my head, I know what you should do.
Okay.
If a woman wants to look attractive to the gender, I think it's just a playbook, that over the years, some people know how to just wheel. So if you don't go by the playbook, you might not get attracted. Of course, we have watched many movies that happens a lot of time. So,
yeah, but that's movies. Does it
no,
happen
but
in real
it's
life?
a reflection now. It's a reflection. You can come and meet somebody and say, oh, I have this friend, I'm so in love with the guy, I'm attracted to him, but he doesn't see me. And somebody can just tell you what you need to do to get the person's attraction, and it might work, or it will work. Just thinking about it.
Emphasis on might. I understand. I feel like people are attracted to what they're attracted to. Like, it's difficult for you to alter yourself, and then should you even want to do that, shouldn't you be loved for the way you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, now would you have to alter yourself first before somebody loves
that's
you?
a very interesting conversation. Ordinarily, when somebody gets attracted to you, the person sees something in you.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why the person is attracted to you. So now when we're talking about a long-term partnership, I don't want to use the word marriage, long-term partnership, you know, what happens, that's the case where the lady was talking about, where probably there was something that was attracting her to the guy. Maybe the guy was all, he has money, was looking fresh, you know, was smelling nice, you know, was showing up, you know, looking clean. And now all of a sudden he's married, he's thinking about bills. Let's talk about the angles for me, please. He's thinking about bills, he's thinking about, you know,
So because of bills, you will not take care of yourself. Are you the only one paying bills?
Wow, really? Okay. Because of bills and some kind of responsibilities and pressure and depression, the list is endless. And all of a sudden, the person stopped thinking about themselves and just thinking about the household. And all of a sudden, maybe he has left himself, probably not smelling as nice as, you know. So what now happens? Because I believe that in such kind of scenarios, one thing that I believe that a good relationship should have is an open conversation.
Yes, very, very important.
You need to get used to having real conversation with your partner. And that conversation can revolve around being sincere, because of course, oftentimes some people want to talk about what they don't like or what is happening wrong in their partner. They feel kind of, you know, sensitive because they don't want the person to feel bad or feel, you know, embarrassed. But the truth is, if this relationship wants to go on, it's just like when you are doing a business, you know, there's often a time when you do some kind of reevaluation. Where are we? What can we do to grow? So relationships should have such, where you're like, okay, the last time I met you, you were always keeping afro, now you have bare hair. Do you want to go and do implant? Do you want to get some implants, or, you know, and things like that? Those kind of conversations. Or, you know, do you want to wear a weave? Because there are adjustments now that can make you maintain how. Now, this conversation is whether, it's not if it's right or wrong, you know, depending on what you need. But, you know, if somebody's attracted to you based on something, I believe it's your responsibility to try to keep up to it, because it's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you expect that from them as well.
Yes, or expect, of course, it has to be, you know, vis-a-vis or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe.
So I like that you mentioned that it's very important for us to have difficult conversations.
Yes.
That's what I will say. Yeah.
Yes.
So she is feeling like she doesn't want to hurt his feelings, you know. So I would suggest perhaps choose your words wisely. Yeah, because you also wouldn't want to hear some kind of things. You want to be spoken to with empathy.
Yeah.
So choose very empathetic words. There is no other way to solve the problem than to communicate with your partner. So if you are feeling like this and they don't know, how can they change? It's until you tell them. But
the truth is that somehow, you know, in the life of that relationship, I believe there should have been some hint to such dislike, you know.
Perhaps.
And perhaps sometimes you're in a relationship and someone is just looking at you and saying, see how your face is on the fat, or you are just not dressing well, I don't like this dressing. You know, they might just have been, in short, the worst of them, the insensitive of them, and say, just leave yourself, you don't fool this chair now, you know. There is not good for you to say that to your partner, because that's very, very wrong. But I believe that in some kind of relationship where, you know, it's hanging on your neck, it might just be filtering out in such kind of ways. And I believe that when you hear things like that, you shouldn't take it like, oh, this person is just talking. You know, you can say, okay, you know what, let's have a conversation. You've actually been talking about this. Do you feel that it's something that is a put off for you? And how can we make effort to do that? The truth is that
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I don't agree that it's on the person being spoken to bring it up. If you, instead of doing passive aggressive comments up and down, come straight.
But anybody
come correct.
Anybody can. So if this one doesn't bring it up, one person, you people are in a partnership, you're in a relationship, so anybody can actually bring it up. Maybe you feeling offended by how it was said, or the person not saying it, and you just say, okay, I think something is wrong. Because of course, if you're in a relationship and you've not been having sex for a very long time with the person, people would start asking questions like, is this person cheating? Like Memuna to always want to say, is this person cheating? Is this person, has he fallen out of love, you know, for me, and all those kind of stuff? And I believe that the idea of attraction in a long-term partnership is something that is different. So in a short-term partnership, maybe you're young, you're not staying in the same house with the person comes and sees you, those young love used to be sweet. Attraction and all of those things used to be very, very high. If somebody stops finding you attractive, maybe you have lost money or you don't have money again, especially if that's what they're attracted to. But in a long-term partnership, I believe that it evolves. Attraction evolves. And if we, for some reason, have like this is how I like my woman being, or my man or something. Okay, I like my woman being thin. And your wife has like 3 children now. It is almost unrealistic to expect her to still be thin like the way you met her.
Yeah.
It's almost crazy. And so if that becomes what was your attraction for her, then you need to evolve in that attraction. What else can you find again that would make you attracted to this person? And I believe that, as I mentioned, the three different kind of love, I believe that in a partnership we should have those love playing different roles. Have a selfless and unconditional love for your wife, which is the love that many people talk about, that has no attraction in it. But when you combine that love and combine the eros kind of love, then you can now start, infusing those other extra things, like you mentioned, side dates, grooming yourself, going to the gym, changing your diet, stop eating by 9 p.m.,
Guilty.
There are just a list of things that you can start doing to just get yourself back to that. So
Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's talk about foreplay happening outside the bedroom. Now, I know I mentioned this in one of the previous episodes. I can't remember which. We're talking about like persuasion, trying to persuade your partner in terms of like seeking consent, something like that.
I think I remember.
Yeah, and I mentioned that this is it really persuasion? It's not when you
doing foreplay.
Yeah, when you put your partner into consideration, you do acts of service for them if that's their love language, or like buy flowers. I don't know, just make your partner feel good without anything physical happening yet. Yeah, I think that contributes, I would say, to desire that people feel in relationships.
I just even remembered something. This has happened to me before. Just thought to share. So the truth of the matter is, sometimes when you're in a long-term partnership, even the person that likes to be desired in a particular way can evolve. Like, for example, I once had a partner that was like money. So when you give her money, of course, don't say okay, because of course women like money. Yeah, but
you give her money.
But the interpretation of this money brought about the deepness for it, or my understanding. So money itself, anybody that has worked understand that money is like part of your life, your time, your sweat. So if somebody gives you money, it shows that that person is giving you a part of themselves that they've worked hard for. And so for her, she sees it as that's heavy. As opposed to the other gift things. And to my greatest shock, that was happening because I was doing that, and I realized that it wasn't giving the effect any longer again, and it just felt like there was more. Oh, you're not caring for me again. I'm like, but they give you money.
You stopped giving the money.
I was still giving the money.
Oh, okay.
But that was not what was needed going forward, because she had probably evolved from that desire, because it's now regular. And all of a sudden I had to think outside the box again on things that she likes, and went out to get different kind of chocolate, biscuits, flowers, and some kind of dinner thing, and that worked.
Okay.
But so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes even our desires shift, the way we like to be desired shifts, and so somehow we must either learn to communicate it with our partner, or just learn to, I think basically just learn to communicate it, so our partner knows that the way I like to be desired has changed. You know,
Yeah.
you were mentioning something about act of service.
Yeah.
It might probably be, working for somebody and the person's already used to that, and maybe now it's just maybe words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And some men also needs to know that, okay, I've been giving my wife money, I'm doing everything for her. Why won't she love me? It might just be maybe waking up one day and just telling her, you know what, baby, let me cook for you. Let me do you breakfast in bed. And, and that might just spice up some things because she probably have not heard you do it in a long time.
True.
Or, this will be your first time and she might just appreciate the intention towards it.
Yeah. And I specifically liked when you mentioned communication, communicating with your partner, because a lot of things can affect desire or alter desire.
Sure.
One is stress and burnout. Yes.
Like I told you, I didn't agree. I say bills.
Yeah, but still,
is it not stress?
Still upon. Okay. Apart from that, relationship conflict. Yeah, like when you guys are having small arguments here and there, that can affect how this person desires you.
Funny enough, I have a funny twist on that. Okay. Do you know there are some people that really get attracted when you're in conflict with them?
Yes.
It's toxic, but
funny
it's
enough.
Oh. So conflict sometimes, you're angry with this person, but you're sexually attracted to this person. And why people are saying, why did you do that? Before you know,
that's not healthy. It's not. I don't know what to say.
It's a form of attraction.
Well, yes. To each their own. To each their own. Yeah. Then emotional connection, physical attraction, and self-care, and hormonal or health changes. This is what you mentioned before about a woman going through pregnancy and childbirth. It alters desire as well. So and then can desire be rebuilt? Yes, a lot of people are in situations where they feel like, the love is gone. They've gone months without any physical intimacy. Yeah, they are now living like roommates. Just they wake up, talk about, are they house school fees to pay, or landlord came. That's all they talk about, like as if they're just roommates. So,
sure.
Can desire be rebuilt? How do you talk to your partner about a loss of desire, and how can you rebuild it?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, it's a very hard conversation.
Very, very hard.
And I believe that the first step in the right direction is having the conversation anyway. If you have someone you cannot have that kind of conversation with, then you're already in a bad situation.
True.
Yes. So once you are able to have that conversation, it's not automatic. It's a process. Even the act of desiring somebody is a process. There are people that you don't like them from afar, but when they get close and you guys are doing things together, you start liking them or start desiring them, because sometimes you don't just get attracted to somebody just like that. Sometimes it's when you meet the person and get to know the person more that you desire. So, but I believe that when you have the conversation first and you are willing to explore options on how to get that desire back. It's even funny that, like I mentioned, that desire might have changed. Some people probably liked It's Missionary when you guys started, and now they prefer another style of doing it. And so you need to be open to having such conversation, vulnerable enough to share it, because the truth is that you might have that, but probably as a woman, and say, I don't like the way you just, I want to be touched, I want to be, And so when you want to have that conversation, the person might feel maybe you are asking too much, or you are feeling, who is this person? But the desire changed from the, let's just reproduce.
Yeah, and it's also good to know what you want. You understand? Be able to communicate so that the person can then.
That is even a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Because I believe that, thinking about that, I believe that many men have had chances to explore their sexual desires, with probably, let's say, multiple partners or whatever. And in the context of, Nigeria or Africa, many women are not, allowed to explore in that way. And so, hence, I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, Hence, some or many women don't even know how to be pleasured. Don't know how.
That's a very good question.
Yes, don't know
And
how to be pleasured.
we're going to really dissect it in a different episode. We need
Interesting.
a whole episode. We can't just talk about this now. We need a whole episode to dedicate to that. No, that is very, very important.
Okay.
Yeah. So watch out for more episodes of Sexually Speaking and visit our website lovematters.ng for our Sexually Speaking column. Follow us on all our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, anywhere you are, we are there too. So yeah, follow us there and keep up with the conversation. Until next time.
Bye for now.